When it comes to eating well in your golden years, vegetables are the backbone of senior nutrition. Rich in fiber, antioxidants, and the essential vitamins that support heart health, cognitive function, and digestive balance. But did you know that how you store your vegetables can be just as important as the types you eat? That's right. Putting the wrong vegetables in the refrigerator can actually make them less nutritious, harder to digest, or even harmful over time. On the flip side, some vegetables absolutely must be kept cold to prevent spoilage, preserve nutrients, and protect your health. In today's video from we're breaking down the 4 vegetables seniors should never refrigerate, and the 4 that you absolutely must keep cold to maintain freshness and safety. These insights are especially important for older adults whose digestive systems and immune defenses may not be as strong as they once were. A simple mistake, like refrigerating the wrong root vegetable or leaving leafy greens on the counter, can lead to nutrient loss, foodborne illness, or even unwanted digestive discomfort. As we age, small decisions, like where we store our produce, can have a big impact on how we feel day to day. And since vegetables are often eaten raw, roasted, or lightly steamed, proper storage becomes essential for maximizing both taste and health benefits. So whether you're organizing your weekly grocery haul or adjusting your routine for better food safety, this guide will help you make smarter choices for a stronger, more resilient body. Let's start with the first vegetable that seniors should never store in the refrigerator, even though many people still do. The worst vegetable to refrigerate, number 1, potatoes, a starchy staple that turns toxic in the fridge. Potatoes have long been a comfort food and a dietary staple, especially for older adults who appreciate their versatility and soft texture. But while they're nutritious when stored and prepared correctly, refrigerating potatoes can actually create a harmful chemical reaction that poses health risks, particularly for seniors. That's why potatoes top the list of vegetables seniors should never refrigerate. The issue lies in the natural starches found in potatoes. When stored in cold temperatures, such as inside a refrigerator, these starches begin to convert into simple sugars. While that might sound harmless at first, those sugars can combine with amino acids during cooking, especially when frying or roasting, to produce acrylamide, a chemical compound that research has linked to nerve damage, inflammation, and even increased cancer risk with long-term exposure. For older adults already managing chronic conditions like arthritis, diabetes, or kidney disease, consuming acrylamide from improperly stored potatoes may aggravate inflammation and oxidative stress, working directly against efforts to eat for better health. Beyond the chemical concerns, refrigeration also affects the potato's texture. It can make the flesh gritty, sweet, and unpleasant, and ruin the fluffy consistency that many seniors prefer in mashed or baked potatoes. Take the case of Geraldine Jerry Rusk, a 78-year-old retired elementary school principal from Peoria, Illinois. Jerry always stored her potatoes in the fridge, thinking it would keep them fresh longer. But she started noticing a strange sweetness in her roasted dishes and worsening indigestion afterward. A quick chat with her granddaughter, who's studying nutrition, revealed the problem. Jerry switched to storing her potatoes in a cool, dark pantry, and the digestive discomfort vanished within a week. So how should seniors store potatoes properly? Keep them in a cool, but not cold, dark and well-ventilated area, like a pantry, root cellar, or a paper bag in a shaded cabinet. Avoid sealing them in plastic, as moisture buildup can lead to mold or sprouting. Ideal temperatures are between 45 degrees Fahrenheit and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is warmer than a refrigerator, but cool enough to prevent premature spoilage. In summary, while potatoes are perfectly healthy when prepared right, storing them in the refrigerator can turn them into a health hazard, especially for seniors. For better taste, safer meals, and stronger digestion, skip the fridge and give your potatoes a dark, dry home outside the cold. Next, we'll uncover another root vegetable that many people refrigerate without thinking, yet doing so actually strips it of both flavor and nutritional value. The worst vegetable to refrigerate. Number 2, onions. A flavorful essential that loses its benefits and causes trouble when chilled. Onions are one of the most widely used vegetables in the kitchen, offering both flavor and health benefits. They're packed with antioxidants like quercetin, support heart health, and add depth to soups, stews, and stir-fries. But when it comes to storage, many people make a critical mistake: putting onions in the refrigerator. For seniors, this habit can lead to spoilage, digestive issues, and a significant loss of flavor and nutritional value. That's why onions belong on the list of vegetables seniors should never refrigerate. Here's what happens when you store raw, whole onions in the fridge. The cold and moisture in the refrigerator causes the onion to become soft and damp, speeding up decay. This encourages the growth of mold and bacteria, particularly on the outer layers. And once mold spores develop, they're not just on the surface. They can seep deep into the layers, making the onion potentially unsafe to eat, especially for seniors with weaker immune systems. Additionally, onions absorb moisture from the refrigerator, causing their starches to convert into sugars faster. This alters their taste and makes them spoil more quickly than they would at room temperature. For older adults who already have a sensitive digestive system, these changes can result in bloating, discomfort, or gas, especially if the onions are consumed raw. Take the case of Vince Ellsworth, an 82-year-old retired train conductor from Billings, Montana. Vince had always stored his onions in the refrigerator, thinking it would preserve them longer. But he began noticing that his onions were slimy, had a slightly sour smell, and didn't cook the same way anymore. After attending a community health seminar on safe food storage, he changed his routine, storing whole onions in a basket in a cool, dry cabinet. Not only did the onions last longer, but Vince's post-meal indigestion vanished. So what's the right way to store onions? Keep whole, unpeeled onions in a dark, dry, and well-ventilated space, like a basket in your pantry or cupboard. Avoid storing them in plastic bags which trap moisture, and instead use mesh bags or open containers. Once you cut into an onion, you can refrigerate the unused portion. Just be sure to wrap it tightly and use it within a few days to prevent spoilage. In summary, refrigerating whole onions is not only unnecessary, it can actually reduce their safety and effectiveness, especially for seniors. For better flavor, longer shelf life, and easier digestion, keep your onions out of the fridge and in a cool, dry spot instead. Coming up next, we'll explore a widely used kitchen staple that turns mealy and flavorless when stored cold and could even disrupt your gut health over time. The worst vegetable to refrigerate. Number 3, tomatoes, a nutrient-rich fruit that turns bland and unhealthy in the cold. Few vegetables, or technically fruits, are as beloved and versatile as tomatoes. From fresh salads to hearty stews, tomatoes are a staple in the senior diet thanks to their rich supply of lycopene, vitamin C, and potassium, all of which support heart health, skin integrity, and immune function. But storing them the wrong way can strip away much of those benefits. That's why tomatoes rank high on the list of vegetables seniors should never refrigerate. When you place fresh, whole tomatoes in the refrigerator, the cold temperature disrupts their natural ripening process and damages their delicate cell structure. This results in a mealy texture and dull, watered-down flavor, making tomatoes less enjoyable and less effective from a nutritional standpoint. For seniors who rely on flavorful, soft foods that are easy to chew and digest, this texture change can make tomatoes not only unpleasant but less useful in daily meals. Cold storage also affects lycopene, the powerful antioxidant that gives tomatoes their red color and heart protective properties. Studies suggest that refrigeration can reduce the availability of lycopene and other phytonutrients, meaning seniors may miss out on the anti-inflammatory and cholesterol-lowering effects that tomatoes are known for. Let's consider the experience of Agatha "Aggie" Bellamy, an 85-year-old retired botanist from Athens, Georgia. Aggie loved making fresh tomato sandwiches, but noticed they started tasting bland and gritty. When her daughter visited and asked where she kept her tomatoes, Aggie pointed to the fridge. She was surprised to learn that refrigeration was the culprit. After switching to storing her tomatoes in a fruit bowl on the counter, she immediately noticed a return to the rich, full flavor, and she also found her digestion improved, with less bloating and discomfort. So how should tomatoes be stored properly? Keep whole, uncut tomatoes at room temperature, away from direct sunlight. A cool counter or shaded pantry works well. If a tomato becomes overripe and you don't plan to use it right away, then and only then should you refrigerate it to prevent spoilage. Once sliced, tomatoes should be stored in the refrigerator and eaten within a day or two for best texture and safety. In short, refrigerating fresh tomatoes is a mistake that can dull their flavor, ruin their texture, and limit their nutritional benefits, especially for seniors who rely on nutrient-dense, soft foods. For the best experience, keep them out of the fridge and let them ripen naturally where they belong, on the counter. Next, we'll explore a spicy kitchen favorite that many older adults refrigerate for convenience, but doing so can shorten its shelf life and spoil its unique flavor and benefits. The worst vegetable to refrigerate, number 4. Garlic. A natural medicine that loses power and spoils faster in the fridge. Garlic has been used for centuries, not only to add flavor, but also to boost immunity, reduce blood pressure, and support heart health, benefits that are especially important for seniors. Its natural compound allicin offers potent antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects, making garlic a small but mighty addition to daily meals. However, storing garlic in the refrigerator is one of the fastest ways to ruin its flavor, shorten its lifespan, and compromise its health benefits. That's why garlic belongs on the list of vegetables seniors should never refrigerate. When garlic is stored in the cold, humid environment of a refrigerator, it becomes vulnerable to moisture and condensation, which can lead to mold growth and premature sprouting. This not only affects its flavor, turning it bitter or rubbery, but also reduces the concentration of beneficial compounds like allicin. Worse still, sprouted or moldy garlic may irritate the digestive system, especially for older adults with sensitive stomachs or weakened immune responses. Cold storage also causes garlic's paper-like skin to separate and peel prematurely, exposing the cloves to air and accelerating spoilage. Instead of lasting several weeks or even months, refrigerated garlic may go bad within days, wasting money and diminishing the medicinal value of this natural remedy. Let's take the case of Wendell Duke Hathaway, an 84-year-old retired jazz pianist from Asheville, North Carolina. Duke had developed a habit of keeping his garlic in the refrigerator, thinking it would stay fresher, but he started noticing a sharp, bitter aftertaste in his meals and more bloating than usual. During a nutrition consultation at his local wellness center, he learned that cool, dry storage, not cold refrigeration, was the key. After moving his garlic to a mesh basket in his pantry, the flavor improved, and his meals became gentler on his stomach. So how should seniors store garlic for maximum benefit? Keep whole bulbs of garlic in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated space, like a hanging basket, mesh bag, or a small ceramic garlic keeper. Avoid plastic bags or sealed containers that trap moisture. Once peeled or chopped, garlic should be used immediately or stored briefly in the fridge, no more than 1 to 2 days, in a tightly sealed glass container to prevent odor transfer. In summary, refrigerating garlic diminishes its flavor, shortens its shelf life, and reduces its health-boosting power, all of which are too valuable to lose, especially for older adults. For the best results, store garlic the old-fashioned way: dry, dark, and out of the cold. Coming up next, we'll shift to the 4 vegetables that seniors absolutely must keep cold, starting with one that spoils rapidly at room temperature and can become dangerous if left unrefrigerated for too long. The best vegetable to keep cold: number 1, leafy greens, a delicate, nutrient-dense superfood that demands refrigeration. For seniors looking to boost fiber intake, support digestion, and protect heart and brain health, few vegetables are more valuable than leafy greens. Whether it's spinach, kale, romaine, arugula, or Swiss chard, these tender greens are loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, along with folate, magnesium, and powerful antioxidants that protect aging cells. But there's one rule that can't be overlooked: leafy greens must be kept cold. That's why they are at the top of the list of vegetables seniors must keep refrigerated. When stored at room temperature, leafy greens wilt quickly. More importantly, their high water content makes them highly perishable, and when left unrefrigerated, they become a breeding ground for bacteria like E. coli and Listeria, both of which pose significant health risks, especially to older adults with weakened immune systems. Refrigeration not only slows the spoilage process, but also preserves the delicate vitamins that leafy greens are prized for. Vitamin C, for example, breaks down rapidly when exposed to heat and light. Keeping greens cold helps lock in their nutritional value and prevents the slimy, soggy decay that makes salads unappetizing and unsafe. Take the story of Henrietta "Hetty" Bloom, an 86-year-old retired poetry professor from Eugene, Oregon. Hetty loved having fresh greens with her lunch, but didn't always refrigerate her farmer's market finds, thinking they were fine for a few days on the counter. One afternoon, after eating a spinach salad that had been left out overnight, she experienced stomach cramps and nausea that required an urgent care visit. Now, Hetty keeps her greens stored properly in the crisper drawer, and she swears they last longer and taste better too. So what's the best way for seniors to store leafy greens? Keep them in the original breathable bag or a loosely sealed container in the refrigerator's vegetable drawer. To extend freshness, line the container with a paper towel to absorb excess moisture, and don't wash the greens until right before use, as excess water encourages spoilage. If you buy large quantities, consider dividing them into smaller portions to reduce handling and limit exposure to air. In summary, leafy greens are nutritional gold for seniors, but only when kept cold. Refrigeration preserves their taste, texture, and safety, helping older adults reap all the benefits without the digestive risks. Next, we'll highlight a crunchy root vegetable that often ends up soggy or contaminated when left on the counter, but stays crisp, clean, and refreshing when properly refrigerated. The best vegetable to keep cold: number 2, carrots, a crunchy, vision-supporting root that stays crisp only in the cold. Carrots are one of the most widely loved vegetables among older adults, and for good reason. They're sweet, crunchy, easy to chew when cooked, and packed with beta-carotene, the antioxidant that converts to vitamin A in the body and supports eye health, immune strength, and skin renewal. But to retain these benefits and avoid spoilage, carrots must be kept cold. That's why they earn their spot on the list of vegetables seniors must keep refrigerated. Unlike some root vegetables that do better in cool pantries, carrots are highly susceptible to moisture loss and bacterial contamination when stored at room temperature. Left out, they soften quickly, become rubbery, and may even grow mold, especially in humid or warm environments. For seniors who rely on carrots as a fiber-rich, vision-protective snack or side dish, this can mean missing out on one of nature's most convenient superfoods. More importantly, refrigeration slows the breakdown of beta-carotene, helping to preserve the very nutrient that gives carrots their orange color and health-promoting power. This is particularly critical for seniors with age-related vision concerns like macular degeneration or cataracts, as vitamin A plays a key role in maintaining healthy retinas and low-light vision. Let's look at Nora Winscott, an 80-year-old retired antique dealer from Lincoln, Nebraska. Nora loved to prep sliced carrots and celery sticks on Sunday for the week ahead, but she used to keep them in a bowl on the kitchen counter for convenience. After noticing they'd often turn limp or grow white spots within a few days, her daughter suggested storing them in the fridge in a container with a bit of cold water. Since making that switch, Nora's carrots stay crisp for over a week, and she enjoys her midday snacks with confidence, knowing they're still safe and full of nutrition. So how should carrots be stored for maximum freshness? Place whole, unpeeled carrots in the refrigerator's crisper drawer. If they come with leafy tops, trim them off first. These draw moisture from the root and speed up spoilage. You can also store peeled and sliced carrots in a sealed container with cold water, changing the water every couple of days to keep them fresh and crisp. In summary, carrots are a fiber-filled, vision-friendly vegetable that belongs in every senior's fridge. Keeping them cold helps preserve their crunch, flavor, and most importantly, their nutrient value, so you can enjoy every bite, knowing it's working for your health. Coming up next, we'll spotlight a moisture-packed vegetable that can become a bacterial magnet if left on the counter, but thrives in the chill of your refrigerator. The best vegetable to keep cold. Numbered 3. Cucumbers, a hydrating, gut-friendly vegetable that wilts without refrigeration. Cucumbers may seem like a simple salad ingredient, but for seniors, they offer hydration, digestive support, and cooling relief in a way few other vegetables can. Made up of over 95% water, cucumbers help older adults stay hydrated, reduce bloating, and support bowel regularity, especially in warmer climates or during hot summer months. But due to their delicate texture and high moisture content, cucumbers must be kept cold. That's why they're high on the list of vegetables seniors must keep refrigerated. When cucumbers are stored at room temperature for more than a day or two, they begin to soften, yellow, and spoil rapidly. Warmth accelerates moisture loss and promotes the growth of bacteria and mold, especially around the stem ends. This not only affects their refreshing crunch, but also increases the risk of foodborne illness, a serious concern for seniors with weakened immunity or sensitive digestive systems. Furthermore, the electrolytes and B vitamins found in cucumbers are sensitive to heat. Storing them in the refrigerator helps preserve their nutritional content, including silica, a compound that supports skin elasticity and joint health, both of which are crucial during the aging process. Let's meet Marty Poehler, an 81-year-old retired school bus driver from Flagstaff, Arizona. Marty used to leave his cucumbers out on the kitchen counter in a fruit bowl. After several instances of mushy slices and a mild case of food poisoning, his daughter suggested he start refrigerating them immediately after grocery shopping. Marty now stores his cucumbers in the vegetable drawer, and he says not only do they last longer, but they also taste crisper and more refreshing, especially in his afternoon cucumber mint water. To keep cucumbers fresh and safe, store them whole and unwrapped in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. If you've sliced them, place the pieces in an airtight glass container with a paper towel to absorb extra moisture. Try to use them within 5 to 7 days for the best texture and taste. Avoid sealing whole cucumbers in plastic wrap, which can trap moisture and accelerate decay. In summary, cucumbers are a hydrating, cooling, and nutrient-rich vegetable that must be stored in the fridge, especially for seniors seeking digestive comfort and skin health. Keeping them cold preserves their texture, protects their nutrients, and ensures every bite supports your well-being. Coming up next, we'll talk about a veggie that's both delicate and perishable, but when stored properly in the fridge, becomes one of the best nutrient boosters for aging bones and immunity. The best vegetable to keep calm for: bell peppers, a vitamin-packed powerhouse that needs the chill to stay fresh and potent. Bright, crunchy, and bursting with flavor, Bell peppers are more than just a colorful addition to your salad. They're one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables available, especially valuable for older adults. Rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, potassium, and antioxidants, bell peppers help support immune strength, collagen production, and bone health. But to preserve these benefits, they must be kept cold. That's why bell peppers are firmly on the list of vegetables seniors must keep refrigerated. Left at room temperature, bell peppers lose moisture quickly, becoming soft, wrinkled, and less flavorful. The exposure to warm air and light accelerates the breakdown of vitamin C, which is already fragile and sensitive to heat. For seniors, especially those looking to strengthen immunity or heal from wounds, this nutrient loss can quietly reduce the effectiveness of a well-intentioned diet. Refrigerating bell peppers not only keeps them crisp and colorful, but also helps retain their nutrient profile for longer. Whether red, yellow, orange, or green, all varieties are excellent sources of anti-inflammatory flavonoids and carotenoids, which protect against cellular damage, oxidative stress, and chronic disease, all key concerns for older adults. Consider the story of Florence "Flo" Parnell, a 77-year-old retired seamstress from Mobile, Alabama. Flo loved adding raw bell pepper strips to her lunch, but often left her produce out after shopping. Over time, she noticed the peppers became rubbery, and her hands felt more inflamed after meals. Her local dietitian pointed out that poorly stored peppers can lose their vitamin C and freshness, especially in the southern heat. Now, Flo keeps her peppers in a breathable bag in the crisper drawer, and she swears her joints feel better and her salads taste more vibrant. To store bell peppers correctly, keep them whole and unwashed in the refrigerator's vegetable drawer. Once cut, seal them in an airtight container or zip-top bag and use within 3 to 5 days. If you notice soft spots or moisture buildup, dry them with a paper towel to prevent spoilage. In summary, bell peppers are a senior-friendly superfood that must be kept cold to maintain their crunch, flavor, and immune-supporting nutrients. By storing them properly, you're not only protecting their natural benefits, you're also making sure every colorful slice supports your vitality, one bite at a time. Now that we've covered the vegetables you should and shouldn't refrigerate, let's bring it all together with a final conclusion to help you take smarter steps in your kitchen for safer, healthier aging. As we age, even the smallest details in how we handle food can have a big impact on our health. And one of the most overlooked yet important habits is knowing which vegetables belong in the refrigerator and which absolutely don't. Throughout this video, we've explored the vegetables seniors should never refrigerate, like potatoes, onions, tomatoes, and garlic, because cold storage can damage their texture, reduce their nutrients, and in some cases even create health risks. These items thrive best in cool, dry, dark environments, and when stored properly, they support better digestion, flavor, and longevity. On the other hand, we've also identified vegetables seniors must keep cold, including leafy greens, carrots, cucumbers, and bell peppers. These delicate, water-rich vegetables require refrigeration to stay crisp, retain vitamins, and prevent harmful bacterial growth, especially important for older adults with weakened immune systems or slower digestion. We believe that healthy aging starts at home, and it often starts in the kitchen. When you store your vegetables the right way, you not only protect their taste and nutritional value, but you also reduce waste, improve food safety, and make every meal more nourishing and enjoyable. So take a fresh look at your fridge and pantry. Are your tomatoes chilling when they should be ripening on the counter? Are your leafy greens sitting out while they're losing precious vitamin C? If today's video helped you better understand how to store your vegetables for health and longevity, let us know in the comments. Which of these storage tips surprised you the most? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more science-based insights to help you live well, eat smart, and age with confidence, one healthy habit at a time.